lead on from something like that. So I have been a healer since I was 18, and I started off doing Reiki, and it was a hard journey because lots of people weren't open to energies. So I worked in finance alongside that. So I've kind of always worked along in finance and in healing. And it's really only in the last 4 years that my own modalities have started to come through. So the first one that came through was to work with med beds. So this is an etheric med bed. So I think that NASA for years have had med beds. You know, they've got all this marvelous technology that can actually cure many of the diseases, that we're faced with today. So this is an etheric version of the med bed. And when it first came through, it was like a conventional bed, not a real one, an etheric one, that I found to be very, very healing. So I always experiment everything on myself first. I say to Sandra, I go into my lab, which is actually my bed, and I just practice, all of these modalities just to see what they can do. And I'm a type 1 diabetic. I've had it since I was 4. My son's got it as well. So it's always in the back of my mind to find something that would help to make the blood sugar levels flatter. And the med bed combined with another therapy that I've brought through, which is called ERB, really, really make my blood sugars much flatter. So it's the first thing that I've ever seen that does that. Nothing else. I mean, Reiki, it's fabulous. All of these energies are amazing. And the other day, my guides just said to me, well, this is a new earth light technology that you've brought through. And it first started coming through in 2020. And I think it's taken up until this point and probably this eclipse for people to be really, or our light bodies to be really able to accept this energy. So it's quite exciting because it's new frequencies that are coming through. So the med bed has now merged into an etheric egg because my guides told me that the egg is the most healing shape that you can be in. So I bring down an etheric egg, which we'll experience at the end of my talk, and just beautiful frequencies come through. And in this shape, everything I'm working with has a mathematical element. And I was looking at I'll probably explain this really badly now, but the mathematical equations within an egg, which is why it's such a healing shape, it equates to pi, and somehow that equates to love with those numbers. And I can't explain it now, but when I read it, I was like, oh, that's amazing, that's really interesting. But that's why it's such a healing shape. So that's the med bed. So about a year later, another therapy came through, and this was ERB. So this is Etheric, Regeneration and Bioresonance. And what I realized that I was doing is that I was bringing through the consciousness of all of these various types of technology, or plants or animals, whatever it may be, and realizing that we don't, like Sandra was saying, we don't need to have the physical there. And that's very hard sometimes for our minds to accept. But actually, it works really beautifully. And bringing through those frequencies means that we can work with absolutely anything. Anything, and when I work one-on-one with a client, I will just bring through exactly what I'm told to and what they need at that point in time. So today, they have said to me that we need to bring through the energies of Mother Ganges and Mother Nile. So I've been working with water quite a lot over these last few weeks. So we'll feel those energies come through when we move through an ERB healing and with the egg as well. So that's something that we're experiencing. So ERB is, it uses the frequencies of a bioresonance machine. So when I brought this through, I thought, well, I need to go and test this. I'd never been on a bioresonance machine. I need to go and feel what that's like. So I went on the machine, and it was amazing, fantastic technology. And then I tried it against my therapy, and it feels exactly the same. So it's bringing through, again, those frequencies that make those changes within the body. So they're working with the consciousness. And then I've started to work with the consciousness of plants as well. because I find it quite, obviously ayahuasca and plants like that have gained a really big following recently. And I think it's quite scary that some facilitators that hold these spaces might not be holding it in a safer way as it should be held. It's very sacred. And, what I think as well is it's a bit like everything, isn't it? One thing doesn't fit all. So one dose might be way too much for one person. So I started to work with it energetically, and I'll bring through the consciousness of Mother Ayahuasca. I work with the consciousness of the Blue Lotus. I do it with psilocybin. So with all of these beautiful plant medicines, they can be worked with in a much safer way. And the results that you get are just as powerful as taking those journeys with those plant medicines. But for some people that are, some people are very fragile that are going in to do these ceremonies. And it can have real adverse effects on you then. So doing it in a safe space is just as beneficial, and you get exactly what you need, not what you're just given in a dose. So coming up, I'm planning to hold an ayahuasca retreat, but it will be an energetic version. So I'm going to kind of see how that goes. And I think people need that quite a lot, and it's appealing particularly to the younger audiences that are going and doing these things, and then things are often going wrong for them. So that's that space. I also work with the gene keys. So the gene keys were channeled to a guy called Richard Rudd. So I don't know whether you've ever looked at his material, but he is absolutely amazing. And he channeled the gene keys in Italy. In a grotto, St. Benedict came through and channeled the information to him. And the gene keys, there are 64 of them. And they link up to our codons within the body. We have 64 codons as well. So each of us individually have 11 gene keys. And they unlock the DNA within your body. They give you a path, your soul's path, so you can see the reason why you came here and kind of the shadow elements that you need to work through to get to those gift elements of your soul. So it's really beautiful, the work that he's done. And that was, at the time then, I started to get visions, and I could see myself in the spinning circles. I think they're called the Vescius Piscus or something like that, that spins. I could see myself in those. And then I saw a guide came forward, and he said he was called Archimedes, and he's a golden griffin. And I thought, there's more mathematical stuff coming through. So I was guided to work with the gene keys, and I create an ERB healing on the back of the gene keys, and then the client, if it's in a one-to-one session, will go into the med bed at the end just to recalibrate the body and bring the energies into alignment. So the Tuesday night sessions that I'm running, I'm just being guided to pick particular gene keys, and we work through them with a group. But the offering that I have is, it's called the Key to the Soul Path. And, if you chose to, we could work on a one-to-one basis and work through all of your gene keys. It's a very, very in-depth, I think it's about 6 sessions, and it really reveals a lot to you. And at the same time, when those codes are ready to be unlocked within the DNA, it will allow that to happen as well. So I do lots of things. I'm sorry, I've darted all over the place, but the main essence of it is that I work with the consciousness of everything. Whatever needs to come through, I will work with that. And it's a really beautiful concept, and it creates huge shifts in people. I've seen amazing things happen, and it's just exciting because it's really only in its infancy in the last couple of years. So that's just what I do. So now I haven't looked at I knew I would do this. I've got lots of notes and I haven't read them at all. So I don't know if I've covered everything. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to just move through an ERB healing, and then I'll bring through the etheric egg so you can just experience what it's like. So if everybody would just like to close their eyes, and if you, first of all, just focus on your breath, just for a moment. So you're really slowing your breath down, leaving a gap between the inhalation and the exhalation. And you're just, for a moment, just leaving the thinking mind and just connecting in with the body. So just do that a few times. And now with that beautiful energy that you've created, I just want you to bring that to your heart space. And as you bring your breath in and out of the heart space, just focus on putting yourself in your heart first. So feeling that love first for yourself, and then everybody else that you love. And just feel that in your heart. And you might feel your heart start to expand. You might start to feel it warm up. And as you feel that love, just take a portion of that and send it down through your body, going down through your legs and out through the soles of your feet, into the roots, and connecting with our Divine Mother. And as your love connects with our Divine Mother, she sends her love straight back up through your roots, coming up through your legs, and connecting in with your heart. So now you have two loves in your heart. And with a portion of that love, you send that up and out through the crown of your head, and it goes straight up to the divine. And as it connects to the divine sends its love straight back down. And as it reaches your crown, it just turns into the most beautiful golden waterfall. And as it falls down through your body, coming in down through the crown, the face, depositing a portion of its love in your heart at the same time. So you have three loves in your heart. The waters continue down through your body, and they flow out through the soles of your feet. And this is just letting go of anything now. Anything that you don't need, anything that's not for your highest and greatest good. Okay, so now we're going to move into the ERB healing. So we command to balance, heal, and harmonize our entire being, going right back to the original life points, through all of the karmic roots and threads, closing all negative neural pathways down, and using the bioresonance patterns on the deepest level and layer that each of us are able to handle at this point in time. We bring through the consciousness of the two mighty rivers, the Mother Ganges and the Mother Nile. And these consciousnesses just help us to shift from the waters of our bodies, those emotions that may be sitting repressed in those really hard to reach areas. These mighty spiritual rivers will help this all to wash away. So we ask now to release all types of trauma and any abuse that we may have experienced, whether conscious or unconscious. Releasing at the same time all memories and trauma that are locked inside the body, held in the cells, the mitochondria, in the tendons, the bones. Releasing all the ancestral trauma we're carrying, the limited beliefs and energetic blockages that are still lodged within our systems. Judgment, judging ourselves, being judged, and others judging us. Any victim mentality. And being authentic to who you really are. The words that come through are veritas, truth and honesty with ourselves and others, and being able to see the truth. We ask to release all negative emotions that have been repressed and stored in the waters of the body, in the mitochondria. And release all worry, stress, anxiety, all fear, and all feelings of lack. Any times we've not given or received unconditionally. And any times we've not moved forward due to self-doubt, not feeling worthy or low self-esteem, and any shame, guilt and blame. And we ask to release that from all of our bodies, from all of our chakras, passing through all of the 12 auric bodies, from the super sub, unconscious, collective conscious, subconscious, superconscious, mind, body and soul, the psyche completely. All of our lifetimes, our ancestral genetic lineage, all dimensions, time and space, parallel universes, from our hologram and blueprint, from our DNA, our RNA, our bloods and our waters, our epigenetics, our genetics, every single cell, cell membrane, cell memory, from the aura completely, from all of the organs within all of the 12 auric bodies, the 12 systems of the body, the nadis, the meridians, the tachyon particles, the neurons deep inside the brain, the vagus nerve, the 32 axis bar points, and the fascia completely. So we now ask that we are released entirely from the shadow masculine energy grid. So you may feel your masculine portals opening now as we command to remove anything that is blocking you from trusting your own masculine provision. The ideas, the creative downloads, which in turn open your feminine channels for receiving. So just feel this release. Anything that's blocking your relationship with the current of love or money, releasing all levels of scarcity, and the times that you stop trusting the masculine and the divine. We ask to release the feminine shadow now that blocks receiving, and releasing the masculine shadow that blocks your trust. So we ask now that we are released entirely from the shadow feminine energy grid. So at this point, you may feel your feminine receiving portals opening as you allow yourself to receive your divine inheritance, that which has always been yours. So feel this release as the divine energy begins to naturally flow through your vessel. So both grids are now cleared, and you will receive the ultimate gift in a harmony with your own masculine and feminine. We now ask to release any trauma bonds, close any neural pathways connected to chaos, trauma and drama, and close these channels, receptors and transmitters. Remove all imprints of disease, illness and miasmas from the blueprint, from each and every cell, and from the etheric body template. We ask now that our light bodies calibrate to our physical body. We have been through so many shifts in the last few days. And we ask to rewire the brain and the body to align with love and the divine. Release all victim energy and being stuck in this triangle with and as perpetrator, rescuer, and any other triangles that we're currently stuck in that are not for our highest and greatest good. We ask to remove these now. And release all barriers that are around the heart chakra, reconnecting us back to the body, back to the heart, disconnecting the mind from the heart, and reforging that connection directly from the heart to the mind. So see a beautiful golden thread connecting the heart back to your mind now. And as this connects, feel your heart glowing golden and your mind illuminating with pure unconditional love. Enable the mind to relax as it remembers that it's always led by the heart, and remembers that it can completely trust and bask in its love. So you may see the heart and the mind now glowing golden as they're completely connected. We move into new energies now of renewal and rebirth, liberation and freedom. Freedom and release from the slavery to the mind, leadership and initiative. And anything that's blocking these is now very gently dissolved away. through all of those levels and layers that we previously mentioned. So just let this go now. Okay, while this is still releasing, we're now going to move into the energy of the etheric egg, where the regeneration and the repair work will take place. So now envisage a beautiful golden egg, and it's descending from source, and it opens up around your body, and it encloses you entirely in its space, going right down to the soles of your feet. And know that you are so secure and you are so safe in this beautiful space. So we first of all call through the frequencies, the tones, the vibrations of unconditional love. And these beautiful frequencies begin to descend now through your crown. And if you see in colour, these are light pink. And they just envelope your entire being in the most beautiful love. And you've forgotten what this feels like. And you've forgotten how loved you always are. So let this energy now come through the body. It's going to go into every single cell, every organ, every chakra. All those places where you haven't allowed that unconditional love to be, it will make its way to those areas. So let it flow down through the body, these frequencies. It's lifting your frequency to a higher level as it comes through the whole body. It comes down into the thighs, into the lower legs. This energy makes its way into your roots as well, because what this allows then is for this frequency to be in your physical existence. It doesn't just stay in the energetic. And you can always tap into it any time that you need to. Allow this unconditional love to continue to flow down to our Divine Mother, to connect with every sentient being, our sacred lands and temples. And this love is assisting everyone to be at that space that they need to be in. And see that then sealed in with white and gold. So we now call in the frequency, tone and vibration of pure gratitude. And this gratitude, as it enters in through the crown, is orange, and it has golden sparkles in it. And this is gratitude from source for who you are. This is gratitude for you making this journey, choosing to be part of this human race, despite the ups and the downs. There is so much gratitude for you, for all that you've done, for all of those souls that you've already helped and those souls that you're going to go on to help. Let this gratitude fill your entire being. It's raising your frequency to a higher level. And it's also gratitude from you for being able to experience this life, to feel these feelings, and despite the ups and the downs. It's gratitude for the beauty of this experience. And this gratitude fills your entire being. Again, it's going to every single cell, every organ, every chakra. And it comes down through the legs, out through the soles of the feet, into those beautiful roots, travelling down again to our Divine Mother, to all sentient beings, the sacred lands, and helping all to transcend to this higher frequency. And again, see that sealed in with white and gold. So we're now going to call in the frequency, tone and vibration of inner peace. And this is blue, and this is the sacred waters. This is the consciousness of Mother Ganges and Mother Nile. These sacred waters come in through the crown and they flood the body with these cooling waters that seek out any tension, any anxiety that's still hidden in the body. And it flushes it all out. And this beautiful blue just cascades through the entire being. It's going to all the bodies as well, not just the physical body, all of those light bodies. And it's coming down through the legs, out through the soles of the feet, into the roots, flowing out. Anything is disintegrating that you don't need. And these peaceful waters, this sacred inner peace, is now flowing to our Divine Mother, again to all sentient beings, to the sacred lands, and helping all of that, assisting all of that to move to this frequency, this very high frequency of pure inner peace. And see that sealed in with white and gold. So we now call in the frequencies. These are the bioresonance frequencies. They are golden frequencies. They are sun codes. There is duality in this as well because there are moon codes within this too. So there is always two sides to everything. But this time, these beautiful frequencies are going to repair and regenerate your body. So if there's any tears in any of the chakras, if there's any organs that need some work, these frequencies will find their way to it now as these golden frequencies begin to fall down through the crown. And this time they'll just go wherever they need to go. So just allow them to make their way to those spaces. And know that once this session has finished, these frequencies will stay until they've done what they need to do for you at this moment in time. So again, these frequencies will make their way down into the roots, which means that you will see these changes within the physical body. They will not just stay on an energetic level. Let these beautiful codes share them as well with our Divine Mother to regenerate our earth, to help all sentient beings to regenerate the lands, the holy spaces. And see that sealed in with white and gold. So just take a couple of moments now just to let that integrate, let those energies settle within the body. very gently, if you just like to, start to deepen your breath. Just very slowly starting to connect back to the body. Imagine that you have a bright blue light at the base of your spine, and this beautiful light is going really deep down into Mother Earth, connecting with her. As this blue light reaches our Divine Mother, it turns into a huge anchor. She holds on to this anchor either side, and she sends her beautiful brown and green energies, these earthly energies, back up through your roots, coming up through your legs, connecting into your heart and rooting you back to this earth, to this plane, to this space, so that you can bring everything that you have experienced into the physical, into the being, here and now. Very gently, the edges of the egg start to retract, releasing your being, returning back up to the divine. And in your own time, there is no rush at all. You may come back to this space, open your eyes when you're ready. How is everyone? Are you all okay? Okay, good. So that's an example of an ERB healing, and then time spent in the etheric egg, which is equivalent to the med bed. And you can spend hours in the egg, believe me, really. There is no concept of time when you're in that space. Yeah, I think that's it. Has anyone got any questions or this? No? All good.
Anybody have any questions for Melissa? It's a beautiful experience being in that egg. It's just, the energies are just
Yeah, it's quite...
profound. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it is really beautiful, and you know, I've seen some real shifts from again with physical ailments. I mean, obviously, with my blood sugars, I've seen real difference, and it really ties in with what Chinwe was speaking about, that there just isn't the support to access this kind of information for, just looking at type 1 diabetes on its own. There's been a huge explosion of cases over the pandemic. And it's such a complicated condition to understand. There's no way that parents can understand it properly and then help their children in the right way with the limited amount of time that the medical profession has. So yeah, I really, it's brilliant what you're doing. Yeah. Okay, that's it.
Thank you.
Pleasure.